Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm here to share with you my May book haul. I'm not gonna lie, pretty much all of these are cover buys slash author buys, but not like in a way that I've read the author's previous books and enjoyed them. It's just that I've amounted a collection of the backlist books from these authors and thought, yeah, I'm sure I'll like them. Let me collect everything they have ever written. That kind of thing. So very impulsive, especially with today's part of the haul, because I was out with my friend Bryony today and we just honestly shopped till we dropped. I got a load of gym wear, I got a load of books, we ate and ate and ate. We had a couple of alcoholic beverages and then we had like tea and cake. We just really went out on the town today, and yeah, my bank balance is not going to enjoy that, but me in myself having a good time, having a little bit of a spend up. It was a lovely day, honestly, and the weather is pretty much good. There was some odd showers here and there, but it actually was quite relaxing and quite refreshing for the really hot, humid day. So with all that being said, enough of the preamble, let's get into the haul. So the first two books was from trip one out of 2 trips to Waterstones, and I picked up some new hardbacks. The first one actually was an author slash cover buy, and also because Cindy from Book of Sins has just read this and has absolutely adored it. I read the author's debut called Queenie, can you guess yet? And absolutely adored it. And this is Candice Carty-Williams's People Person. Let's talk about the cover for a minute, because this is stunning. I feel like it might, I kind of want it to be multi-generational, but I don't really know if it is. But anyway, I am vibing for these colours. It kind of gives me 90s Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I love it, these bold kind of primary colours. And then we've got that on the spine, some more characters on the back. And this is how the sprayed edges looks like. How beautiful is that? I love it. It's also signed by the author herself. Let me find that for you. I'm getting quite the collection of signed books of late, especially from my book subscription boxes, so that's really cool. I might have to do a video where I go through all the signed books I have, which is awesome. I don't like group them together really, other than the Fairy Loot and Lumicrate books together, so I'll have to hunt for some of the others. It's really cool because I've just seen at the bottom of the synopsis that you can listen to the playlist for the People Person on Spotify. If you could choose your family, you wouldn't choose the Penningtons. Dimple Pennington knew of her half-siblings, but she didn't really know them. 5 people who don't have anything in common except for faint memories of being driven through Brixton in their dad's gold Jeep, and some pretty complex abandonment issues. Dimple has bigger things to think about. She's 30 and her life isn't really going anywhere. An aspiring lifestyle influencer with a terrible and wayward boyfriend, Dimple's life has shrunk to the size of a phone screen. And despite a small but loyal following, she's never felt more alone. That is, until a catastrophic event brings her half-siblings, Nikisha, Danny, Lizzie and Prince, crashing back into her life. And when they're all forced to reconnect with Cyril Pennington, the absent father they never really knew, things get even more complicated. This kind of sounds like a bit about my life. I am super intrigued to get to this one, and as I say, I've heard some good praise for this. Love the author's debut book, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Everything I got was new release bar 1 or 2. This is Electra by Jennifer Sain. I have Ariadne, which I think is this author's debut. I haven't yet read it. I don't know if Electra is part of Ariadne's story or Ariadne's story. I don't know if that's kind of like a continuation or what, but I'm just gonna read the synopsis and see. I just want to show you underneath on the end papers how stunning is that. There's this gorgeous green. Oh my god, it's beautiful. How beautiful is that? We have the House of Atreus, which is cursed. It's a bloodline tainted by a generational cycle of violence and vengeance. This is a story of 3 women, their fates inextricably tied to this curse, and the fickle nature of men and gods. I'm so bad at pronouncing the names. Right. Clytemnestra, the sister of Helen, wife of Agamemnon, her hopes of averting the curse are dashed when her sister is taken to Troy by the feckless Paris. Oh, this is interesting because I've literally just read The Silence of the Girls and The Women of Troy, and they both didn't really give me what I was hoping to be given. So maybe this will give me more of actual, their women's stories, you know. Her husband raises a great army against them and determines to win whatever the cost. Cassandra, princess of Troy and cursed by Apollo to see the future, but never to be believed when she speaks of it. She is powerless in her knowledge that the city will fall. And Electra, the youngest daughter of Clytemnestra and Agamemnon. Electra is horrified by the bloodletting of her kin, but can she escape the curse, or is her own destiny also bound by violence? I almost want to have higher hopes for this one. I think I'm really gonna love it, just because, and for Ariadne as well, just because I had such high hopes for The Women of Troy by Pat Barker, and I spoke about it in my previous 2 wrap-ups if you do want more information, but it just wasn't the feminist retelling that I was sold to believe, or led to believe. Anyway, the next 2 books I purchased today and I got in WH Smith. I also got these really cool pens. I got these Posca paint markers, and you can like draw them on shoes, skateboards, like glass, different surfaces and stuff. So I got this pack of pens, and I also got these fancy ones by Uniball, and they are the artist selection, and they're all like different thickness of the brushes. So that is pretty cool. That's what they look like there. I love pens. I'm a bit of a stationery freak as well. But the books that I picked up in WH Smith were The Mercies by Kieran Millward Hardgrave. I've been wanting to read this for a little while. I basically have this feeling that I'm really going to love this author. So I have about 2 of her middle grade books. And now this one, because I think this one's aimed at YA, if I believe correctly. And this one seems like it's a bit of historical fiction fantasy as well. So it says, the storm comes in like a finger snap. Winter 1617. The sea around the remote Norwegian island of Vardø is thrown into a vicious storm. A young woman, Maren, watches as the men of the island, out fishing, perish in an instant. Vardø is now a place of women. 18 months later, a sinister figure arrives. Absalom Cornet has been summoned to bring the women of the island to heel. With him travels his young wife, Ursa. In her new home, and in Maren, Ursa encounters something she has never seen before: independent women. But when Ursa finds happiness, even love, Absalom only sees a place flooded with a terrible evil, one he must root out at all costs. This sounds amazing. Maybe it's not a fantasy, maybe it's just historical fiction, but it sounds amazing. I've heard some good praise for this. I want to, like, isn't that actually an island that happened to, or something similar, where the male population was pretty much wiped out? Be interesting to see if that was actually based on a true event. And I also picked up one that I've been really interested in getting to, and that is Fable by Adrian Young. And I don't know, the cover just gives me Ariel vibes, like Ariel but with pirates, but I don't know if that's actually the vibe it was going for. So it says, trader, fighter, survivor. As the daughter of the most powerful trader in the Narrows, the sea is the only home 17-year-old Fable has ever known. It's been 4 years since her father abandoned her on the legendary island filled with thieves and little food. To survive, she must keep to herself, learn to trust no one, and rely on the unique skills her mother taught her. The only thing that keeps her going is the goal of getting off the island, finding her father, and demanding her rightful place beside him and his crew. To do so, Fable enlists the help of a young trader named West to get her off the island and across the Narrows to her father. But Fable soon finds that West isn't who he seems. Together, they will have to survive more than the treacherous storms that haunt the Narrows if they're going to stay alive. And I think this is a duology. The covers that I really wanted was the ones where it kind of looked like half a face and then the other half had the other face, and you could like combined, it looked kind of cool. But yeah, want to read that one very soon, hopefully. And then this massive expensive Waterstones trip from today, I got a load of books. This is a beautiful books in my bag. I was gonna get this other one that I saw that was just like a bookshelf, but then I saw this one and I was like, Jesus, that is stunning. So I opted for that one, and I managed to squeeze all the books in from today's chaotic trip. So let's have a little look-see. I didn't even know this was coming out anytime soon, but I want to say it's the sequel to the oh, everyone's like commenting on each other's books. I've just got Jennifer Saint, who did Fable, is talking about it. But anyway, this is the sequel to The Wolf Den, and it is The House with the Golden Door by Elodie Harper. I'm not going to look at the synopsis for this because you probably guessed I haven't actually read the first book, but I have it there. I'm excited to get to it. I don't want to give myself any spoilers because, you know, let's not do spoilers. It's signed by the author, and we have extra content in this one as well, which is interesting, and it's got a lovely little blue ribbon. Next up, I have this one. It's another Kieran Millwood Hargrave, and this is the latest release, and this is also signed by the author. Don't know why I'm showing you this, I just feel like it's nice to see the different handwritings and stuff. And this is called The Dance Tree, and look at the beautiful sprayed edges. It's got like bees, are they bees? I think so. Blue, and it kind of carries all the way around, like that whole theme just follows from page to page, and it's a lovely blue colour underneath. There's like a blood moon. Ooh, is it going to be talking about blood moons? That sounds interesting. Is it going to have a witchy vibe? I don't know, I just picked it up. The back says, "She is crying, but she is not ashamed. The tendrils of light swarm about her like flies, heavenly and revealing. Beneath the blue and burning sky, she lifts up her hands and begins to dance." Ooh. Strasbourg, 1518. The midst of a blisteringly hot summer, a lone woman begins to dance in the city square. She dances for days without pause or rest, and she is joined by hundreds of others. Oh, is this the dancing plague? The authorities declare an emergency. Musicians were brought in to play the devil out of these women. Just beyond the city's limits, pregnant Lisbeth lives with her mother-in-law and husband, tending the bees that are their livelihood. And then, as the dancing plague gathers momentum, Lisbeth's sister-in-law, Neith, returns from 7 years' penance in the mountains for a crime no one will name. It is a secret that Lisbeth is determined to uncover. As the city buckles under the beat of 1,000 feet, she finds herself thrust into a dangerous web of deceit and clandestine passion, but she is dancing to a dangerous tune. Oh, this sounds amazing! Interesting. Okay. So it does seem like this author sticks to kind of historical fiction, which sounds awesome. Okay. Oh, I picked up a couple of freebie bookmarks advertising various books. We have this one, John McGregor's Lean Full Stand. Looks like that. Then we have this one, The Wizard of Once by Cressida Cowell. And then it says on the back, keep hopping, keep guessing, keep dreaming. And then I picked up this one, The Lion Above the Door. Ooh. And I've got some of these books about this author already, which is cool. Right, so next book I picked up was When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. How curious, right? This cover sounded so awesome. The title rather sounded so awesome. The cover looked awesome. There's a dragon's eye there. Looking on the back now, it's got a little blurb written by Lev Grossman, who did the Magician's trilogy. I haven't read those books, but I watched the TV show and really enjoyed it. I think I'm like on the last season, but I've not finished it yet. This one, again, knew nothing about, never heard of it. It just caught my attention. Wisconsin, 1955. In a world where girls and women are taught to be quiet, the dragons inside them are about to be set free, and nothing will ever be the same again. When hundreds of thousands of ordinary women sprout wings, scales and talons, and take to the skies in a blaze of fire and fury, 8-year-old Alex Green is one of those left behind, and no one will talk about what happened. Best forgotten, everyone says. But Alex can't forget, nor does she want to. As Alex grows up into a fiercely independent teenager, she must face the consequences of the mass dragoning. A society closes in on itself, a mother more protective than ever, and watching her beloved cousin Beatrice become dangerously obsessed with the forbidden. This timeless and magnetic novel from Newbery Medal winner Kelly Barnhill exposes a world that wants to keep girls and women small, and examines what happens when they rise up. That's interesting. So they're using this like dragon awakening as a means to talk about social commentary, I guess. Sounds good. Then I picked up another book that I'd never heard of, and I don't know if it's part of a series or not, but it sounded really cool. This is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. The cover, again, of course, looks absolutely stunning. I am definitely a sucker for a pretty cover, especially like these gothic, dark, kind of mysterious, witchy vibed ones. That's a lovely kind of burnt orange in the end papers there. So this isn't a fairy tale where the princess marries a prince. It's the one where she kills him. After years of seeing her sisters suffer at the hands of an abusive prince, Mara, the shy, convent-raised third-born daughter, has finally realised that no one is coming to their rescue. No one except for Mara herself. Seeking help from a powerful grave witch, Mara is offered the tools to kill a prince if she can complete 3 impossible tasks. But as is the way in tales of princes and witches and daughters, the impossible is only the beginning. On her quest, Mara is joined by the grave witch, a reluctant fairy godmother, a strapping former knight, and a chicken possessed by a demon. Together, the 5 of them intend to be the hand that closes around the throat of the prince and frees Mara's family and their kingdom from his tyrannous ruler at last. That sounds freaking epic. It's so small though. Teeny tiny. Okay, we're down to the last 3 books. We're nearly there. I picked up Wiven Home, which I have just heard Jess from Sunbeam's Jess talk about. I don't think she enjoyed it as much as she was hoping, but it still piqued my interest. I was also looking for this other one, The Lambers, but I couldn't find it and I couldn't remember what the author's name was. But anyway, this is Wiven Home by Samuel Fisher, and I think it's based on a real place. Small town in Essex, I think it is, I'm not too sure. But anyway, here is the synopsis. A young man is found brutally murdered in the middle of the snowed-in village of Wiven Home. Over his body stands another man, axe in hand. The gathered villagers must deal with the consequences of an act that no one tried to stop. Wiven Home is a haunting novel set in an alternate present in a world that is slowly waking up to the fact that it is living through an environmental disaster. Taking place over 24 hours and told through the voices of a mother and her adult son, we see how one small community reacts to social breakdown and isolation. It sounds like it could be a really cleverly crafted book, so I'm intrigued to see how this is done. Hopefully I'll enjoy it. And of course I had some more books trickling in later on in the month, so I shall show you guys those now. And the last 2 books really caught me by surprise because I went upstairs. I shouldn't have gone upstairs to look at the books up there. But of course, the Witchcraft, it caught my eye. So I got this massive book published by Thames and Hudson, and it is Christopher Dell's The Occult, Witchcraft, Magic and Illustrated History. And this is just one of those massive coffee table books where I probably will never end up finishing, as I've been reading this Reader's Digest folklore and myths of Britain and England or whatever for the longest time, and yeah, I think it's going to be another case like that. But yeah, it's got some gorgeous illustrations in here with the history of magic basically. And then the last book, keeping on a similar vein, is this one. It's Secrets of the Witch, an initiation into our history and our wisdom, and this is by Julie Laguerre, Elsa White and Laura Perez. This is a stunning cover. It has these gorgeous ribbons that you undo, and here are some of the pages. It kind of keeps with the theme of like a history of witches and magic basically. I think it takes it more down the actual like historical route of like people that were accused of witchcraft and things like that, and a little bit about that person. But this says on the back, which is kind of creepy, this book of shadows was written just for you, but it contains powerful secrets that you must guard. Learn about the history of witchcraft, understand what happened to our sisters since ancient Greece to the present day, discover the origins and secrets of magic, talismans and symbols, and find out how to harness your own powers in the spellbinding lore of the witch. Welcome to our family. It is a community of love, and together we stand for the freedom of all women. It talks about Circe, Hermione Granger, fairy tales, talks about lots of different stuff. So that's it. That wraps up this very spontaneous, massive book haul, very expensive book haul, but I've got some good content to unpick over the coming weeks, months, years. see how long it takes me to get through all these. It probably will take me a while. I've also got obviously my backlist of books to get through, but I'm happy with these purchases. And yeah, you'll have to let me know if you guys have picked up any of these books yourselves. If you've already read any of them and you have some reviews you'd like to share, let me know. I'd love to hear them. And yeah, I'll speak to you in another video soon. Bye!